won't notice. So a block or a coffee table book, a blanket of any sort. It can be the blanket from your couch. It doesn't matter. And then I also brought a scarf. This is just like a huge scarf I have for winter time. It's kind of nice to have this as a little bit of extra cushion. And anything else you would like, a pillow. A pillow is a great tool to use instead of a bolster. So I'm sure most of you don't have bolsters hanging around like I do. So please feel free to grab a bolster. Okay. Or your version of a bolster, which is probably a pillow. The other thing, a little PSA. A little PSA, definitely put yourself on mute. And then the last thing I just wanted to tell you guys, just gonna turn this off while I'm getting some feedback. The last thing I wanted to tell you guys is Yoga Nidra is a really interesting practice. It's very modular. It's like these interesting chapters that were crafted purposefully to get your mind to rest. It's called the Art of Conscious Relaxation. And the whole point of Yoga Nidra is to take you through chapters so that everyone feels like their bodies are fully relaxed, but the mind stays present. So that's when we get to Yoga Nidra, which is the last 30 minutes, it'll be, I'll ask you to do some strange things, think of visuals, maybe count backwards, just stay with it. It was purposefully put together in these modules to get your brain to stay in this really interesting brainwave that's not quite delta sleep, but not quite where we are right now. So it yields that gray matter that we want, a really creative space to be. It helps with sleep. So some yogis say that 45 minutes of Yoga Nidra yields the equivalent of 4 hours of sleep. So you just clocked yourself a couple extra hours of sleep without knowing it if you stick through the practice. And if you fall asleep, don't worry. Just listen to the sound of my voice. If you fall asleep, you needed the rest. No big deal. I fell asleep the first few times I took Yoga Nidra. Can you guys give me a thumbs up if you can hear me okay and see me all right? Yes, thank you. Brilliant. Okay, so we'll get started. The first half of class will be a flow, a really, really simple, kind of mostly on the ground. Will barely flow at all. But it's just to open up the body and get the wiggles out so that we can focus on our Yoga Nidra and meditation later in class. So we are going to start in child's pose today. If you have a pillow from your bed, grab your pillow. That's your makeshift bolster. If you're on your mat and you want some cushion for the ankles, you can pull a scarf or a smaller blanket to cushion your ankles up behind you. You can even roll this up a little so it's extra squishy. You will take soles of the feet together, toes together, and then separate your knees so they are in a diamond shape. So toes together, knees apart. Place your pillow. You can even stack 2 pillows if you need more. And we will be in this pose for several minutes. So take your time getting all the right props you need. Be a very picky yogi and grab what you need so that your practice is delicious. And once you have all the things in front of you, padding under the feet, couple of pillows instead of a bolster, toes together, knees apart, you're going to take a huge breath in and then a long walk out, long spine from tail to crown, and then bring your head down on your bolster. Let your hips sink towards your heels and just let the shoulders slope forward and relax. We're going to be staying here for a few minutes, which I realize is a little strange given these times when we're used to hearing a lot of audio in classes or feeling touch, as in loving care touch or adjustments. So while you are in your child's pose, take this as a really unique opportunity to invite in some stillness, some softness, and some quiet into your space. I'll run off the benefits for you of this pose, but then I'll be pretty quiet here and there, offering a few techniques for meditation, for breathing, just to keep you lightly engaged in here. But we're going to stay in this pose for another 3 minutes. Child's pose is the ultimate grounding pose in yoga. Our foreheads are down on the ground. We feel the closed loop connection of our body onto the ground or onto your prop. Your hips are lightly stretching as you bring your hips towards your heels, and your low back can release here. So as you inhale, because your back is shining up towards your ceiling, in theory towards the sky, breathe into the back side of the body, inhaling from tail all the way through crown of the head. Give yourself a long exhale to release. Imagining that I was walking by and placing my palms on top of the back of your lungs. Breathe into where your wing space would be as you settle into the props. Deep inhale in. Long exhale to release. Another deep inhale here. And a long exhale, letting it all go. In your child's pose, take a moment to settle into the physical posture. Perhaps your hips and heels don't connect and you need a little more propping. Do you have an extra pillow nearby or a blanket you can grab to prop yourself up just a little bit higher? That will help you release hips to heels a bit more. If your neck feels strained, play with maybe letting the other cheek come down to the mat, rotating the neck, finding that sweet spot so that the neck is released. Now that you've taken a moment to make any adjustments you need, start to feel the palms rooting down into the earth, into your mat, onto the floor. Feel every pad of the fingertips connecting with the earth here, rooting down, finding your source, your intuition. Continue to breathe into the back side of the body. And now think of sending the breath to the hips. On your next inhale in, fill up your chest. Exhale, let it release as you send the breath now all the way through hips and low spine, even through the lower trunk of the body, the legs, the feet, the ankle. On your next inhale, as you fill up the belly and the chest, let that breath pull all the way through from crown of the head, all the way out through the toes, releasing any tension you have along that journey from crown of the head to toes. Let the breaths be long here, simple. No manipulation of breath. Simply a natural, soft breath you can bring into the pose and let yourself root down. One more minute here, yogis. Let's try to get used to some silence and being with our breath, being with our body, being with this chance to slow down, to root down, and to turn off the outside for just 1 minute. We'll kick off our last minute in the pose here by breathing deeply, inhaling together a community breath. Exhale, open the mouth, side out, release a little bit more into your pose. Nice job, yogis. Spend a moment feeling the pose while you're still in it before you break. Feel the palms connecting down into the earth, the toes behind you, hips released. a little bit of relief in the low back as well. And then on your next inhale, push into the mat and start to roll on up, coming up. You'll sit back on your heels just for a moment and breathe in as you do and lift those palms up high to the sky. Exhale, bring those palms behind the nape of the head or the nape of the neck and behind the head. As you inhale, open up the chest and lean back a little. Exhale to stay for stretch, opening up the chest and the armpit area. Doesn't sound glamorous, but it feels so good to stretch it. Another deep inhale here. And then exhale, bring the elbows in, drop your chin to your chest, pull your spine, release. Little mini cat-cow, but seated here. Inhale, opening up. Exhale, curl the tail, let the elbows drop as chin falls towards chest. Deep inhale in as you open up and tip the tail behind you. Maybe you find this lift, this sensation of pulling up and then back and over. Mini back bend here. Exhale as you curl in towards yourself. Inhale as you open everything up, expand. Exhale, bow into you. Next inhale, come center, and then move your stuff off to the side. You might want your blanket spread out in front of you for this next pose. We're coming into Cobra pose. If you feel like your hips might dig into the ground, it should feel pretty good to have something cushion your hips. So walking out in front, your palms will be underneath your shoulders, knees underneath hips. We'll take a nice tabletop here before we get into the next few poses. Tuck the toes under for a light stretch of the feet and inhale, proper cat-cow now as you lift crown and tail. Fill up the belly and lungs. Exhale, curl the tail and push the mat away. Maybe wiggle the tail a little here. Inhale, open up. Drop the belly as the gaze lifts high to the sky. Exhale, curl everything in. Push the mat away. Inhale, opening up. Add any movements you would like here. Maybe circles with the hips. Maybe you're gazing over your shoulder towards your toes for a little bit of a side bend stretch. Do what feels good. Just keep breathing as you expand and exhaling as you contract. Next, inhale, come center. If you have a book or blocks, this is optional. You can place it at the top of your mat. No fuss if you don't have blocks. Bring your forearms in front of you to the mat or blocks. And then start to lengthen out your tabletop. Bring your knees back behind you. Toes still stay tucked. And then bring your head either to the blocks or all the way down to the ground. Your palms are in prayer pose in front of you. Anahastasana, your back looks like a little ski slope here. Breathe in. And a long exhale out to release the shoulders. If this feels good, maybe you bend the elbows and then point your prayer pose behind you to intensify the stretch. You can even think of connecting your thumbs to the top of your spine by your neck here to intensify the stretch, giving yourself a little bit more, stretching out those traps, the upper back, the lats, the shoulders. Another deep inhale here. And a long exhale, start to come on up. Place your palms underneath you. If you use blocks, shift them off to the side. And then let's come all the way down to our bellies nice and slowly. Let your toes spread wide behind you. Feet are about hips width distance apart. Let the hips and belly sink into the mat here. And then give yourself a really light abdominal pull in as you think about pulling the belly up towards the spine, protecting the low back here. Elbows are on the mat as you set up for Sphinx pose. Your elbows can be underneath your shoulders or even slightly in front, a little bit more than a 90 degree, that's fine. And spread your fingertips nice and wide here. Yin pose, that's one of my favorite, especially if you have low back issues. If you have low back issues, spread your feet even wider, as wide as your mat. From here, you're gonna think that you have sticky paper on the forearms and start to root the arms down, securing them down without moving them, but energetically start to pull the palms and elbows towards your body. You should feel your ribs pop off of your hips. lengthening in the spine here, all the way from low spine to upper body. It's a little bit of work in the arms. So if you're shaking, that's okay. There is a little bit of bonus toning here you probably didn't plan on. Take a nice deep inhale here in your activated Sphinx pose. Exhale, wing the elbows out to the side, rock the belly side to side to release the low back. You can make a pillow with the backs of your palms. We're gonna do that again. As you inhale, come back to your Sphinx pose. Again, pushing into the forearms so you're not sinking in, pushing up nice and tall, and then bring in that sensation of pulling your elbows into your ribs while your arms stay still on the mat. A little bit of activation here. Bring your chin towards your right shoulder. Give yourself a neck stretch while you're at it. And then bring that chin towards the left. Come center, last bonus 10 seconds. Perhaps you'd like to come up higher into full seal pose by pushing the mat away and straightening your arms. Maybe staying down is best for you today. I've got some low back stuff, so I'm going to choose to stay down here today. Take a nice, deep, long inhale here. And exhale, release. Push it back. One quick child's pose. This time, toes and heels together, forming a little stack underneath you. As you shift the hips back, roll your forehead side to side. Give yourself a nice little release of the sinuses here, massaging the third eye center as you rock your head side to side. A little bit of pressure in the third eye center should feel good since we've all been in overdrive lately, trapped in our homes, surrounded by media. And as you inhale, quick shoulder stretch, come into your tabletop again. Lift the right palm high to the sky. Take a peek at your thumb. Thread it through and underneath as you let your shoulder come down to the mat and your right cheek releases to the mat too. I'll do the other side so you can see it if you'd like to see. With your, I'm trying to think, I can't mirror you guys, I don't have enough brain power right now. With your left arm, perhaps you'd like to reach it up high to the sky or take a half bind by reaching the thumb around for your thigh. Take an inhale here as you lengthen the spine from tail to crown. Exhale, maybe you twist a little bit more. Inhale as you come back up through center. Maybe wash that out with a cat-cow, whatever feels good and natural to the body to release, and then take the other side. Pick up your left palm, gaze up towards the thumb. Inhale, and as you exhale, thread it through and release your head down. Cheek comes down to the mat. Staying here if this feels good, option to lift the top arm and intensify the twist. Maybe take a half bind. Stay for a really nice, long, deep inhale in, no rush. Long exhale to release. On your next inhale, come center. Sit back on your heels and then swish your legs around, just an easy way to come down onto your seat. We're gonna get into the glutes a little bit. So if you've got a tight low back or stuck with your back, I suggest sitting up on a blanket. It's one of my favorite things to do to find space in the low spine. If you've got a block, that's optional. You might like it. If you've got your block or a book or something that could stand up kind of the thin way like this, you're going to place it in between your feet. Grab your ankles and then lift up as your soles of feet are together, knees apart. Grab the ankles, lift up, elevate the spine. You should see that diamond shape of your legs in front of you. And then exhale. Maybe you come forward with the head connecting to the block, optional. If the block isn't working for you, you can release it and then snuggle soles of the feet together. So you've got this nice close loop connection here, and you just forward fold as far down as you can go. Sometimes when I'm injured, all I do is drop my chin to my chest and I stay up. There are times when my back is flared and forward folding is not my practice. So go to whatever degree of range of motion feels good for you today. You can always come out of it, inhale, shine the chest forward, and then exhale, come back down. We're going to take 6 breaths here together, yogis, to stretch out the glutes, let the low back release. We'll start and breathe as a community, inhaling. Nice long exhale. Inhaling in. And exhale. Inhale in. Exhale, arms heavy by your sides or wrapped around your feet. Inhale in. Exhale to release deeper into the pose. Inhaling in. And exhale. Last one, inhale here. And exhale. On your next inhale, start to push your way up using as little effort as possible, doing almost less with the muscles. Place your palms behind you. Knees start to flip up and your feet will plant down into the mat. Give yourself a little windshield wiper here to rinse that out. Knees knock side to side, should feel pretty good. Little bit of opposite direction here with the knees to wash out and counter the opening of that diamond shape. And then the next time you come center, stay there. You can stay on your blanket if you've got it behind you. We're going to take a figure 4 to stretch out the glutes. If you are a yogi who loves pigeon, this is your time to do pigeon instead as an option, if you're craving that. For the rest of us, we're going to lift up our right heel and cross it over the left ankle, finding ankle to knee pose here. To intensify it, you can shrink yourself up into a little shorter ankle to knee. If you'd like more, you can even come down onto your back and thread the needle. With your right elbow, you can push out the right thigh so that you're starting to think of squaring off in a perfect 90-degree angle, this figure 4. Flex your right foot, the foot that's crossed over your knee. That will help protect the joints. Take a couple of really big, beautiful, purposeful breaths here, thinking about where the breath goes in the body. And we'll breathe together, 6 deep inhales, inhaling in. And exhale. Inhaling in. And exhale. Inhale in. Exhale to release. Nice deep inhale here. And exhale, letting it go. Maybe you're breathing faster or slower than me, that's okay. But last one together, inhaling in. And exhale. Let's take this into a twist. Left leg extends long in front of you. And then let that right knee fall over the body, over the midline. You can reach your arms wide. It might feel nice. Perhaps it's the first time today you took up space. And then gaze over the right shoulder. If you'd like to intensify the twist, you can always eagle wrap your legs, a double wrap here. And breathe into the side of the body from hip to shoulder and let the neck feel heavy. Face is heavy. Inhaling in. And exhale. Inhale in. And exhale. Inhale in. And exhale. Come back through center. And we'll take our figure 4 on the other side. If you started up, feel free to come back up. If you liked it on the ground, you can stay down. No need to come up. We're going to cross our left ankle over our right knee this time. Perhaps you're staying up here in a nice loose position, feeling the stretch of the glute here. If you'd like to intensify, that's when you shrink up into a shorter version of the pose. And you can lengthen out to release it a little bit too, depending upon how deep you want to go today. If you want more, you can roll on down, thread the needle so you're reaching for the thigh behind you, and then push that thigh out with your left elbow, thinking of getting your 90-degree angle nice and square and flush. Flex the foot, the left foot that's crossed on top. That will protect your knee joints. And then breathe into the glutes. Maybe you're finding that one side is a little bit tighter than the other. That's so common. We're all injured in different places. The body holds on to injuries, tightness, trauma in different ways. So be kind to yourself if you can't go as deep on one side or the other, or feel free to explore a little bit more if you find you have more space on this side. It's neither good nor bad. It's just information for you to kind of file away for the body. Let's take 3 more breaths to close out here. Inhaling in and exhaling. Inhale in and exhale. Last one. Inhale here and exhale. Let's take this into a twist. Release the right leg long on the mat. Cross the left leg across the midline of the body. And then reach your arms nice and long. You're going to gaze over your left shoulder. If you did so on the other side, you can consider taking this deeper by crisscrossing your legs, eagle legs, double wrap here. That's an option. Depends upon how good your back is feeling today. Wherever you are, just breathe into it. Let that neck feel heavy. Release the face. Even let the toes breathe here, thinking of sending the breath everywhere in the body. Inhaling in. And a nice long exhale. Inhaling in. Exhale, letting it all go. Nice long inhale in. And exhale. Coming back through center, lift the knees up, feet on the mat. You're going to grab your right knee in towards your chest and stack it over the left knee. You're thinking of the shape almost looking like a bow tie or a whale's tail, and then you grab for the shins and start to pull them apart. If you've got the space, you can reach for the outside blades of the feet, and then let your elbows drop heavy, almost like a seated Gomukhasana legs. This is a deeper hip stretch for the outer glutes, and you're pulling your knees away, pulling the feet away. Knees are stacked. One more deep inhale here. And exhale. Uncross yourself. Take a happy baby to transition. Knees start to track towards the armpits and reach for the outside blades of the feet. If your low tail is popping off the mat, maybe reach somewhere else in the body like the shins or behind the thighs. Think of finding length in the spine here. That's even more important than having your palms wrapped around the blades of the feet. So find that length in your happy baby. Inhaling here and exhaling. One last deep inhale here and exhale. Then we'll take that crossing on the other side. Stack your left knee on top of the right. And you've got this little whale's tail in front of you. Reach for the shins and let your elbows drop, or you're reaching for the outside blades of the feet. Like happy baby, if your tail is really popping off the mat here, loosen the grip, maybe reach at the shins instead of the feet. Finding length in the spine will make you a better person. Just kidding. It'll definitely make your back happier though. Length in the spine is everything. Let your back release down into the mat, nice and heavy here as your elbows drop. And let's find 2 breaths to close out this pose. Inhaling in and exhaling. Last one, inhale in and exhale. We're going to come into our last pose before we make our way towards our meditation. We're going to let the feet, soles of the feet come together, knees apart. This is called Baddha Konasana. Supta Baddha Konasana. So our feet are together, our knees are apart in a diamond shape. You can place one palm on the belly, one palm on the heart. And if you've got blankets underneath you that you'd like to reorganize, maybe you shift your blanket so it becomes a pillow for the head, giving yourself a little bit of small padding right above the shoulders to embrace the head. Try not to have too many bumps. You don't want your head craned up either. So it's thinking of a nice flat spine. Just maybe about an inch of blanket underneath you will be the perfect pillow. If it's too hard to keep the knees open here, if it's pulling on the hips, you can place your feet flat And then let those knees knock in towards each other, broken bridge legs. That'll give you a nice little grounding sensation. Any other pose you'd like to take to help you find a little bit of closure in your stretches, please feel free to take it. Couple of really deep breaths here in your Baddha Konasana. Let the eyes feel heavy. The cheeks should feel released and relaxed. Releasing upper and lower teeth and jaw. And let those hips open ever so subtly. Nice release here for the hips. Find a little bit of stillness in your pose. Embrace the softness of the body. To be productive, we don't always have to be sweating, going a million miles an hour. We can take time out for our bodies and realign the spine, realign the mind, and we will reap the benefits and the productivity just as much by finding a little bit of balance in our practices. A little yin to the yang, a little cooling moon to the fiery sun. So just let yourself know it's okay that you're not running around right now. It's okay not to be checking any devices. It's okay to be here, recharging, refilling your cup so that we can take care of ourselves and others during this really difficult, stressful time. Breathe into the satisfaction that you are being productive by slowing down. And then let anything you're holding on to release with a nice long exhale. 2 more like that. Inhale, fill up the whole body. Open the mouth, exhale to release everything. Last one, opening up the body with breath. Fill up the lungs, nice and long. And then exhale, open the mouth to release the breath. We are going to make our way towards our meditation. We do this laying down, typically in Shavasana. So if you have those pillows, you can start to stack the pillows underneath the knees. Perhaps you have your scarf or your blanket for an actual pillow. You can spread out your blanket on the mat. Do whatever you need to do. Take your time. I had a teacher once call this a Shavasana bed, and I loved it. You can take this meditation from bed or your couch. No one's looking. Turn your video off. Take this where you can really release into your Shavasana pose like you would at the end of a yoga flow corpse pose. The less effort here, the better. I'm going to be seated as I guide you through the meditation this evening, so you can ignore me on my seat. But give yourself ample time to find that really comfortable Shavasana. Grab whatever you need. If your toes get cold, grab socks or a blanket. If your lights are on and you would like to kill the lights, definitely flip the light switch so that you have darkness here, you have full relaxation. That makes you feel like you can completely tune off the outside world and tune into yourself. As we shift into our meditation, our Yoga Nidra, just follow the sound of my voice. And there's no need to panic if you fall asleep. That's common. Your body needs the rest. So take the rest if you need it. Just try to follow the sound of my voice and come back to the meditation. Your body will remain in absolute stillness as I cue the mind to think through certain patterns, activities, letting your body find deep relaxation and the mind stay just barely present to find the benefits of conscious relaxation across mind and body. Let yourself settle into your Shavasana. Maybe you hear sounds or noises. And as you rotate your consciousness, maybe rotate away from the external factors, any sensations for the eyes, for the ears, for the nose. You start to shift your awareness now to the subtle body, your mind, and how your body feels. Here, safely, tucked away in your Shavasana, in your own home. Embrace this little bubble of comfort and safety. And open up your mind to breathing and exploring in our meditation this evening. We'll start by setting a sankalpa, a seed of intent. This is your heart's desire that only you know. So be honest with yourself and don't judge. Look at this with a fresh lens. Any desire that might be bubbling up deep inside your gut or your intuition center, grab that thought, that feeling that's starting to bubble up, and then take that and form a short positive phrase you can take with you into your evening, the week, the month, the year. It doesn't have to be your final sankalpa. It can be just the start of something you're building. So don't worry if you can't find the perfect thing right now. Just let the mind settle on something. And then forming a short positive phrase as though you've already accomplished it. Whisper that sankalpa to yourself 3 times to seal it in. Perhaps it's, I have taken time for myself. I do take time for myself. I am giving my mind and body what I need right now. I feel whole and worthy. I am connected in ways that's positive for me. Whatever it is, could be something completely different. Grab it, seal it in, whisper it to yourself 3 times. Well done, yogis. Let the physical body now start to deeply release. Space in between the eyebrows, the cheeks, the teeth separate. Let everything melt into your mat, your couch, your bed. Bringing awareness now to the physical body. When I call out a part of the body, you will just bring the awareness to hover over that body part. If you'd like, you can visualize a small flame, like a candle, hovering over that part of the body I call out. And there's nothing to do, you're just recognizing the physical body. We'll begin now. Bring your awareness to your right thumb, your right second finger, right third finger, right fourth finger, right fifth finger. Bring your awareness to the palm of the right hand, the right forearm, the right upper arm, and the right shoulder. Bring your awareness to the right ribs, the right waist, and the right hip. Bring your awareness to the right thigh, the right knee, right shin, right ankle, and the right foot. Bring your awareness to all of the right toes. And then start to think and bring awareness to the sole of the right foot. Bring your awareness to the back of the right calf, back of the right thigh, and the right glute. Bring your awareness to the back side of the right half of your body, your hips, the chest. And now bring awareness to the entire right side of the body. The entire right side of your body. Now bring awareness to the left thumb, left second finger, left third finger, left fourth finger, and left fifth finger. Bring your awareness to the top of the left hand, left forearm, left upper arm, and left shoulder. Bring your awareness to the left ribs, the left waist, and the left hips. Bring your awareness to the left thigh, left knee, left shin. And bring your awareness to the left foot and all left toes. Bring your awareness to the sole of the left foot, left ankle, left calf, left thigh, and left glute. Bring your awareness to the back of the left side body, hips, ribs. Now bring your awareness to the entire left side of your body. The entire left side of your body. Bring your awareness now to the full body, right and left sides together at once. Every cell of your being. And then bring that awareness to the crown of the head, pausing at the third eye center, the space in between the eyebrows. The ancient yogis call this space the Chittakash, the doorway into your mind. Now bring your awareness to your nose and nostrils, noticing as you inhale how cool the breath is, and as you exhale, how warm the breath feels. Casual awareness, the warmth of your own breath, the coolness as you pull in a new inhale into the body. As you observe the breath, we'll now focus our attention to counting backwards, starting with the number 13. As you inhale, think belly rise, inhale 13. Exhale 13. Inhale 12. Exhale 12. Keep counting backwards. If you get to 0, start at the top at 13 and count backwards synced with your breath. Make as many cycles as you need. If you lose your space, just start back up at 13 again. Counting backwards from 13, starting now. Good. Now bring your awareness back to the body. Play with the sensation of feeling heavy, as though your body weighs 100 times your regular body weight. Let yourself sink into the earth, a warm, comforting embrace. As the body sinks deeper, feels heavier, heavier. You're now made of molten metal. As you root into the earth, feel heavy now. And now bring your awareness back to your body as it sails upwards, feeling incredibly light. As though now your body were made of bubbles, air, feathers. You're soaring high towards the sky. Your chest is propelled up into the clouds. You can't help but feel weightless and light. Feel light now. Yogis, coming back to that third eye center. We'll explore a beautiful landscape together as you step inside the mind's eye to help you drive this experience. Start to visualize yourself in a beautiful, lush, green tropical forest. As you walk forward, you feel the warm, humid air on your cheeks and shoulders. It smells sweet, of flowers and budding trees. You can hear the crunching of twigs and leaves under your feet, and as you walk forward, you find a path. The path is shrouded and covered in beautiful trees with big waxy green leaves. You can see the dew dropping, sliding down the leaf as it pitter-patters onto the forest floor. As you walk forward, you fill your lungs with this fresh air and the rhythm of the forest around you. You spot a tree house in front of you. There's a ladder to this tree house. It's secluded and private. No one's around, so you climb up the ladder into your tree house. As you take a couple of reaches with hands and feet, you find yourself inside this cozy little tree house. From the top of the tree house, you see a beautiful view of the horizon high above the treetops. And as you gaze around the treehouse, you see nature and objects inside the room. You let your eyes flutter around, visualizing as I call out what you see. As you lift your gaze, you notice a red bird, the waxy green leaves, a blazing yellow sun, a table inside the treehouse, a stone on top of the table, a rainbow umbrella, a green vase, a white lily flower, a glass of red juice, and an orange book. Then you observe a mirror on the wall. You walk over to the mirror. Open your eyes in your mind's eye and see yourself on the mirror. Gazing at yourself in the mirror, what do you see? Now bring your gaze out onto the horizon high above the treetops, seeing the sun low about to set. Pull in all the beautiful colors, yellow, orange, red, and every color in between. Spend a few moments gazing at this beautiful sunrise, brilliant hues against a gorgeous blue sky, white clouds, and green treetops. Breathe in the beautiful jungle air. And as you exhale, you feel a sense of calm, a sense of purpose, connected with nature, connected with your true self. Yogis, coming back to a slight awareness of the physical body, bring your attention now to the third eye center, the Chittakash. Recall your sankalpa, your seed of intent. What seeds did you plant? Bringing the notions, sensations, the feelings surrounding your sankalpa. Bring that back into the heart and mind space. And then bring all that awareness of your intentions into the third eye center. Spend a moment peeking inside your own mind, observing without judgment. Are your thoughts fast? If they are, let them pass. Like clouds passing across the jungle sky, let them dismiss off to the side. If the mind is empty and quiet, just be in the silence and in the peace. Spend a few moments inside your mind's eye now. Yogis, bring your awareness back to the third eye center, pulling your sankalpa into the heart space. And take a really purposeful, thoughtful inhale into the physical body. And a long exhale out. Just to be here on your next inhale in. Exhale to release. Over the course of the next few inhales, start to invite movements into the body. Breaking your Shavasana, closing your Yoga Nidra meditation. As you inhale, maybe you spread the palms wide, spread fingertips, roll through them, roll the wrists. Maybe you roll the toes, ankles, feet. Make slightly bigger movements in the body now. You can reach your palms overhead. Take a morning stretch, like you're welcoming yourself back into this physical shape we embody. Any stretches that feel good, take them as you waken the physical body back up. Pull your knees in towards your chest. Keep your grip loose if you've got low back stuff going on. Pull your knees tightly in towards you if your back is healthy. And then depending upon anything in your way, in your home, if you've got the space, roll over onto your right side and take a pause there. Your right arm, your bottom arm can serve as a pillow as you rest your head. Pulling the knees up high towards the chest. Take a moment to be here and breathe in. Exhale, releasing. On your next inhale, come up to a comfortable seat anywhere. On your bed, your couch, in your space. We'll bring our palms in prayer at our heart space in the center of your chest. And we'll close our meditation and practice today with 3 deep inhales and exhales. Inhaling in. Open the mouth, exhale, release. Deep inhale in. Even longer, sweeter exhale out. Last one, inhale in. Exhale, let it go. Yogis, it was an honor and pleasure. Thank you for joining this evening. Namaste. Thank you, yogis. If you have to run, please run. If you've never done Yoga Nidra before, I'm going to unmute you. If you have questions, you can always, if I can figure out how to unmute you guys. You can always DM me with questions if you've got any questions. And here we go, mute. No, I don't want to mute myself. Huh, there we go. I'm going to unmute you guys. Sorry, I had to figure out how to do this.
Thank you, Stephanie.
Thank you.
Do it again soon.
Okay, sounds good. Thank you for joining Yogis. Appreciate it. If you're unsure of Yoga Nidra, just as a quick recap, we did a couple things today. We did a rotation of the consciousness where we thought about parts of the body. Then we moved into counting backwards from 13. Sometimes it's nice to recall if you remember your number. If not, don't worry about it. A lot of people fall asleep here during this meditation. From there, we felt light and heavy. So we dialed up feeling heavy first and then light. It's okay. Normally, you feel one more than the other. And then we went for a walk in a tree house. We did, in the jungle, we found a tree house and we did rapid visualizations. We visualized a couple things. This is part of the practice. It may seem strange when you first do it, but it's just getting the brain firing on all synapses. So we saw a red bird, a blade of glass, a blade of grass, a blazing sun, a crystal, a rainbow umbrella, a green vase, a white lily, a glass of red juice, and then a mirror. Then we tried to see ourselves in the mirror. And then we gazed out into the horizon, and then we meditated. So you did a lot in 30 minutes. And if there are parts of those chunks where you're like, I had no idea we did that, I fell asleep, no big deal, that's super common. It's just kind of fun to take a little pause at the end and think about where you went on this journey, and if you remember some of it, if you remember all of it or not. So that's it. Guys.
Thank you.
Okay.
You're the best.
Enjoy. Namaste.
Love you.
Mwah.